Good morning. Happy Friday and welcome to Morning Coffee Live. Um, yeah, so been streaming for 2 weeks now. It's been an interesting experience. It's tougher than I realized. It's hard. I'm loving the format of live. While it may not be always as interesting and exciting, and there might be some ums and coughs and errors and misspeaks here and there. I'm a huge fan of the format. I'm loving the fact that it's live in this day and age of AI taking over everywhere with deep fakes becoming what they are. People have already been seeing that. I think there's a spot for live video. I think live has an authenticity to it that cannot be replaced through edited video because with edited video, it's nearly impossible to tell what's real anymore. Um, there's just incredible stuff going on with, you know, predominantly with AI. I'll see if I can find a video on it at some point here. But yeah, I've been streaming for 2 weeks now. It's definitely been a little interesting. Um, oh, it's definitely harder than I thought. You gotta find a topic, keep your train of thought rolling, and try not to get too crazy with it. I've gotten some feedback. My wife, who's my number one fan, um, gave me some wonderful feedback. She tells me the other day, she goes, "Honey, you have a voice for radio." I was like, "Oh, thank you, dear." And then she looks me straight in the face. She goes, "You have a face for radio too." And then just chuckles and walks away. She also said that some of my episodes have absolutely bored her to death. So I'm going to try to find ways to make things a little more interesting, a little more exciting, probably tell some more stories, make it a little fun, more fun. So far, I've kind of just done a high level overview of lots of areas of marketing, digital marketing, a little bit on AI, PR, storytelling, things like that. I want to dive in, talk a bit more about stories. I've been working on writing a book for longer than I'd like to admit now. I guess it's been 2 years, and I haven't made nearly as much progress as I would have liked to, but, wanna work on that a bit more, talk about some of the stuff I'm doing there. I think that could be fun, and, overall, just gonna try to make things a little more interesting, um, and then start doing more deep dives into things, getting farther into topics than just that cursory glance, and really starting to dive into some of the cooler topics, and then, also wanna tie things in a little more to, what's going on, so it's Friday today. I don't want to get too heavy or too deep on anything, but I fear we can take a look at LinkedIn, see what I saw a couple of great ads on there. Wanted to call one of them out. A couple of scary things going on with AI, and take a look at the news. Oh, another interesting thing. Just going back to live streaming for a moment. If you follow the chats, you read the news, you see what's going on in social media. They make it look like all you gotta do is create content, get out there, create stuff, and it'll be big, it'll be popular. There's a second thing needed, consistency. I've put out now about 3 hours of video. When you think about it, I have said more lines of dialogue on the stream the past 2 weeks than the average Hollywood actor probably says in a year. Um, you need that consistency. Not everything resonates with everyone. I guarantee you some of the episodes I'm doing on here are boring people to tears. Other people might find it fascinating. I'm a marketing guy. I'm not a, you know, Hollywood star. But the point is, it's a lot of work. You got to put a lot out, and you got to keep going at it. I'm getting fairly decent traction. There's people checking out my videos, checking out my profile. It is definitely increasing visibility. But it's not like I started doing videos and all of a sudden I'm Gary Vaynerchuk and have a million people commenting because I sneezed. Um, it's going to take some time and just having fun with it. Okay, let's jump in. First of all, an incredible ad I found the other day. Just wanted to share this. I saw it yesterday evening or night before. I'm not sure, but I forgot to show it yet. Let me show you this though. Check out. Oops, wrong one. Sharing. Let's try that again. Present. Here it is. Oh, I just switched to the entire screen. Yeah, this window. Okay. Take a look at this one. Love it. Ad creative AI. We were talking about how AI companies are going to pop up like crazy. The strong will survive, the weak will fade away. It's kind of like the .com boom. Well, it's happening. It's happening very quickly. If you take a look here, AdCreative.ai. AdCreative.ai is like having a team of 50 graphics designers and copywriters, agency owner. Imagine leveraging the power of an entire creative department in just a few clicks. AdCreative AI is your secret weapon, blending AI innovation with expert level design and copywriting to impress your clients. With AdCreative.ai, agencies scale like never before. Why is that such a hard word to say? Onboard more clients, dramatically reduce workload, and deliver consistently high ROI results. Bring your agency to the next level today. An amazing marketing agency. We don't do creatives in the Achilles heel. That's really cool. It's a great ad. And what I like about it is imagine it's like having a team of 50 it's like having a team of 50 graphics designers and copywriters. That's a great hook because, for example, I'm a marketing guy and I'm an expert in most areas of marketing. I am not a good creative. I am not good at making original copy. I can I'm very good at editing creative. I'm good at guiding and steering creative. I am not a creative myself where I can create it. So something like this, definitely makes sense. Imagine leveraging the power of an entire creative department in just a few clicks. Once again, good copy. It's your secret weapon, blatant AI innovation, blah, blah, blah. Agencies scale like never before. Fine. Here's the link. Effortlessly onboard more clients, dramatically reduce workload, and deliver consistently high ROI. Bring your agency to the next level today. I think this CTA is a little weak. Instead of you just said, imagine having a team of 50 graphics designers and copywriters. Imagine leveraging the power of an entire creative department. Agencies scale like never before. Effortlessly onboard clients, dramatically reduce workload, deliver consistently high ROI. I think this CTA should be a little stronger than bring your agency to the next level. That's everyone says this. How about, you know, instead of bring your agency to the next level today, how about start creating incredible copy now with a link or, you know, produce your first ad in seconds. Click here to try. Try now. I would do something a little more action oriented. This bring your agency to the next level today. It's like, okay, it just sounds really generic. I think the CTA should be a little more direct. Click here, do it now. At Creative AI is like having a team of 50 graphics designers. Once again, great copy. Sign up. Not the end of the world, but and that's one of the built-in form ones on LinkedIn. But once again, great ad. Now, here's the interesting thing about this. Is this software any good? Not a clue. Um, Once again, they're popping up a dime a dozen. I checked out their landing page the other day when you do click on the ad. Um, it's got some interesting information. If it works as well as they say it do, it could be absolutely phenomenal. I just don't know. And these are popping up a dime a dozen. We're going to see competition to this, and we're going to see lots of competition to it, and we're going to see things like that keep popping up. But just wanted to call this out. This is overall a solid ad. It's got a great hook. It solves an obvious problem. It's filling a niche for marketing agencies that don't do creative. And yeah, just overall solid. Wanted to share that. Sometimes I close this while I have the screen shared. Oh, it stays up. Interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and remove that guy now. Yeah, just wanted to show that. And then once again, AI is hitting. It's everywhere. It's not going away. I'm gonna jump in, share my screen again, and I want to talk a bit about the news. I read the news every day, and it's amazing how much news, just so you know, is actually written by PR marketing people, that it's not written by a journalist. I'd say journalists write maybe 20 to 30% of the news usually. The rest of it is all done by either marketing or PR folks. And that's how it's supposed to be. I mean, that's the relationship between PR and marketing. It's kind of a symbiotic relationship. Um, the idea is the PR people give the good stories to the journalists, and that way they don't have to spend all their time finding looking for stories. It's all supposed to work happily ever after. Okay, top stories. Takeaways from the Trump hush money trial, ex-publisher details tabloid tactics. Oh, once again, more election interference. Trump New York trial enters day 8. More testimony. So this is an interesting one. This headline story of Trump in court. Is this news or is this propaganda? Well, it's both. I don't know all the details of how everything got to where it is today. But what I can tell you is how it's being used. It is news that our former president is in a criminal trial. That's definitely news. That's why it's on the front page, and it should be. It's also being used as a propaganda play. It's the fact that we have all these. I mean, if we click on full coverage here, what you're going to see is there's tons and tons of articles and social commentary on X and frequently asked questions. And every single outlet is picking up the Trump case. This is propaganda on two sides, by the way. On the liberal or Democratic side, the propaganda is all towards making Trump look bad to try to reduce his chances of winning the election. On the other hand, you have propaganda from the conservative Republican side. And that is propaganda saying that this is a witch hunt, that it's a pointless thing, etc. And it's all trying to help him in the election. At the end of the day, Trump's lawsuit doesn't directly affect us in the sense of we're not the ones standing trial, yet it's going to have a huge impact on America. And everybody is already in there trying to steer how the outcome will change how people act and what will occur, who will win an election, how things will work in this country. So even though the court case itself technically is, Donald Trump's court case, it affects everybody and everyone's jumping in as you see, and that's why there's so much news on both sides. The Democrats tend to be better at putting more news out there, and they have a larger war chest, so you'll see more from that side. But yeah, very interesting thing to see because it's all propaganda. Biden snarls traffic in Westchester for fundraiser at $4.5 million home. This is probably written by the Trump campaign because it's talking about how Biden snarled traffic and how expensive the home is. They're trying to make him look like he's out of touch and that he's a troublemaker, right? Over here, you're talking about how Trump's a criminal. This and it's all propaganda. All right, let's see what else we have going on today in the world. Netflix series with De Niro. Nobody cares. I love De Niro, but my God, you're old. We need some new Hollywood stars. Scottish Labour says, when not if Yusuf resigns. Okay. Crunch confidence vote. Once again, this is all a blend of news and propaganda. When it comes to politics, everything has propaganda involved. Um, let's see what else we got here. Tesla autopilot investigation closed after feds find 13 fatal crashes related to misuse. It's people who are not using the autopilot system the way they were told it's safe to use. The autopilot system for Tesla is really cool. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but with the autopilot system, it's a full self-driving on the Teslas where you basically just put in a destination and it does the rest. It's still in beta. It's not a fully fleshed out, completely 100% there feature. It's very good, is my understanding. It's 99% there. It's not done yet. And people are trying to use it like it is. They turn it on, they fall asleep at the wheel, things like that. And yeah, they're still running into issues. The tech isn't perfect yet. California college cancels graduation ceremony as protests over Israel's war in Gaza continues. That's a shame. Well, the education system has turned more into an indoctrination system than it has anything else over the past decade. At the end of the day, these are still kids that just spent 4 to 6 years as an average, 80% of them dropping out. going to college because they want to get a degree, and there's a part of me that still want to think that these people all have good intentions and they're there for the right reasons and they want to succeed in life and do good things and make the world a better place. Graduation ceremony is an exciting thing for them. I didn't go to my own, but that's just because I personally didn't care. But having to cancel them sad. The last time we had to cancel a bunch of graduation ceremonies was for COVID. Um, cool one about that actually was when COVID first hit. Uh, Me and a buddy of mine, we were running the marketing for a mid-sized agency, and we did a lot of stuff that required in-person satellite media tours, radio media tours, things like that. One of the things we decided to jump into at the beginning of COVID, we sat down and we're talking about what what's this gonna do? Where's there a need? And one of the things that I thought up was graduations because COVID started right around February. It's when people first started hearing about it, and May was rolling along. Um, I think I put out the very first advertisement ever for virtual commencements, and we started virtual commencements. We got one in SCAD. Um, did a virtual commencement with us, an incredible one. There's celebrity appearances, etc. And we found a way to make commencements work by doing virtual commencements. So we launched one of the first ones ever. Something I'm proud of. I thought that was really cool. And so when they cancel a graduation ceremony as protests continue, it's kind of sad that they're canceling over this when COVID, which locked everyone up, threw a mask on the face, shoved them indoors, and killed off its 1%. Um, we found a way to keep that from canceling graduations. Protests are doing it now. That's sad. Very, very sad that we're letting our protesters drive our lives. U.S. holds off sanctioning Israel military units accused of human rights violations in West Bank before start of war with Hamas. Okay. When you excel, they spreadsheet about you. Risky moments have failed. Sunny erupts into shouting. Bethesda Studio shut down by Microsoft. Well, that's sad. Bethesda's one of the classics. I don't know if anyone knows anything about video games, but Bethesda has been around for just about forever. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Apple Panic on the Atari may have been a Bethesda title. Let's take a look. Oh no, that was Broderbund, not Bethesda. Okay. But yeah, Bethesda, I guess it doesn't go back as far as that, but you know 'em predominantly for the Elder Scrolls and the Fallout games. Um, they're the ones who did Skyrim. They did. I could have sworn they went even back farther than that. Let's see. 80s. Technology forecaster, yada, yada, yada. Where's their games list? Wayne Gretzky's hockey in 1988. So they do go way back, and Terminator in 1990. And then the original Elder Scrolls, which was a computer game actually in 1994. They kicked off Elder Scrolls. They're one of the biggest, which is like arguably the biggest franchise or one of the biggest, and I think for single player, probably the biggest franchise just about ever made for RPGs. I know that Part 5 is considered one of the greatest ever. So they did the Elder Scrolls series, Star Trek, the Fallout series, absolutely huge. Rage never really caught on too much, but had some interesting stuff. Doom's been around forever. Uh, Wolfenstein, what a great series. That was like, mine and my entire generation's first game as a kid. You got to run around and shoot Nazis. It was great. The sequels are actually pretty good too that came out later. And Starfield was their latest. That was basically taking the Elder Scrolls formula, bringing it to space. Pretty cool, but it looks like they might be getting shut down. Not positive, but it's a rumor. Millennial tattoo. Well, no, I don't. The nation's cartoonists weak in politics. Chinese efforts to sway the U.S. are bigger than TikTok. The TikTok ban, assuming everybody's heard about that by now. If not, the Congress just passed a bill that'll ban TikTok if they don't sell in the next, I believe, 8 months, with the ability to extend if they are already in discussions. Um, it's interesting. TikTok's definitely a dangerous platform for the country, but it's not just the platform, it's the concept. And I'm really surprised once again that the law did not go farther than just the specific product and instead talk about the issue at hand. But either way, we'll see how that plays out. Long range US missiles, who are the mega rich donors, what Bill Cosby's overturned conviction. I haven't looked into this yet, but um, Harvey Weinstein just got, I guess, pardon or mistrial or the new trial. Something happened with his case, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I'll take a look. Eminem's gonna kill off Slim Shady. No, you can't do that. Everybody loves Slim. He's got one finger on each hand up. Why AirPods hold the key to Apple's next frontier. AirPods are interesting. They are yet another piece of the cybernetic puzzle. Um, when you think about it, humans have already hit the cyborg status just with cell phones. This guy right here, you've got a miniature supercomputer that just sits in your pocket at all times. It's a direct extension of your hand, your thumbs, your fingers, however you use it. And it's a computer that, while it's not directly attached to you, if you were to mount this right here on the back of your wrist and just have it embedded right there, you would be a cyborg with a computer that you can play with. Earpods or AirPods, I call them earpods, AirPods, whatever they call them. They're another piece of that. They allow hands-free audio, both transmit and receive. They stick out of the ear ever so slightly. You could probably easily attach a little front-facing camera to the AirPods, maybe even two of them for a 3D. And you now have a great method of bringing in data to feed into an AI. So I can see where AirPods definitely could be on the next frontier. At least, the concept. Wearable technology is always an interesting one. People are slow to adapt to it. You've seen a couple attempts now, Google Glass and a couple others of a wearable in the computer. It's one of those things where there's a lot of pushback against it. There's a lot of resistance to it, mostly just due to convenience, power issues, things like that. But where you have a wearable that people don't have a pushback to, such as AirPods, that's because we had headphones and earphones long before those earbuds, long before those came around. There's a lot less pushback. So it's a smart way to, or it's a smart idea to take the tech that people already like, such as AirPods, and use those for the next iteration versus trying to introduce new tech. If you actually did attach the cell phone to the arm or just made a wrist thing to hold it here, etc., it's not going to catch on because people already have a method doing it. They'd rather hold it, right? So using existing tech makes a hell of a lot of sense. Let's see. Zendaya movies. Putin propagandist panics over Ukraine's receiving long-range U.S. missiles. Look at this. They're actually calling out the propagandists directly these days. I thought I was the only one who used that word anymore. U.S. election 2024. Who are the mega rich donors backing Trump? Okay, we saw that already. Escape from Tarkov's devs. Attempt to put out fire caused by $250 pay-to-win edition. Well, Tarkov's on the way out, and that'll let Bungie move in. I'm surprised Tarkov lasted this long. If I'm not mistaken, Tarkov is the company that owns it is a Russian company, and you actually have to. When I last looked at it, you still had to purchase the game with rubles, Russian rubles, and so it was a whole process to be able to even buy the game. I'm surprised with the war that it's stayed alive this long, but looks like they're shooting themselves in the foot. $250 pay to win edition. Never goes well when you have a loot shooter. Oh yeah, they're just gonna piss off their fans. If there's a $250 pay to win version, let's see here. Everyone can have access to the controversial new mode that's locked behind a paywall, but they're doing the reverse. So everyone gets it for 6 months and then it goes away. And it's only for the people who paid the 250. Yeah, they're done. They just screwed their fan base. You want to piss off your fans? Go ahead and add a feature to your game and then put it behind a paywall. That'll kill you instantly. Bye bye, fans. Hey Don, how you doing? Put the earbuds and earrings so that they don't fall off. Honestly, that's a good idea. I don't personally like earbuds, never have, or earbuds because I just don't think they're comfortable. But then the second issue is they fall out, and oh my gosh, is that a pain? Uh, Good to see you, Don. What else is going on in the world today? Oh yeah, Bungie reverses controversial Destiny 2. So Bungie, it's all just boring stuff. Not much going on today on a Friday, is there? Dow Jones rises ahead. Key Federal Reserve inflation rates. GM and Ford just beat Tesla at its own game. I gotta laugh at this. I don't even know what the article is yet, but Tesla's game is electric vehicles and robotics. That is Tesla's game, and I guarantee you, GM and Ford have not beaten it at those things because there's no one better with robotics and electric cars than Tesla. Okay, so their first quarter revenue both top Tesla. So you're saying that 100-year-old automobile manufacturers that make every type of car known to man and now electric cars as well using technology created by Tesla because their sales were slightly higher than Tesla's are now beating them? I think that's a bit of a stretch. Tesla's going to go up here somewhere. See what else we got going on. Southwest Indian flights, how to avoid capital gains, fact checks. Yeah, there's nothing really exciting in the world today. I was hoping to find a little more to talk about, but there's really not much going on that we haven't already heard. I would rather get a cold hard rejection than be left wondering and ghosted. Ghosting someone because you don't want to let them down is selfish, but don't take my word for it. Let the LinkedIn poll do its work. Would you rather be rejected or ghosted? Rejected every time, of course. There's already 41 votes. Yeah, 98% rejected. Nobody wants to be ghosted. I've put in over 500 resumes and cover letters over the past few weeks. I've only heard back on 5% of them. The ghosting is annoying. Don, I just saw Harvey Weinstein in a local coffee shop stalking young women with the promise of starting in new films. Yep. With Weinstein, I don't know if you're on earlier, Don, but I talked about it briefly. I haven't looked into that yet about what actually happened there, why he's getting off the hook. But yeah, um, grab your children, grab your wives. Harvey Weinstein's on the loose again. Stay safe, people. I just realized I got this little small. Uh, Local businesses count on digital ads. Now, this is interesting. LinkedIn is putting this post out. How much you agree or disagree that LinkedIn businesses, local businesses count on digital ads? Yes, they absolutely do. Everyone does. But why is LinkedIn's polling people? They're collecting data and they're probably using it to develop their own advertising towards local businesses. One things we think about from LinkedIn at the end of the day isn't a social media network, and nor is Facebook, nor is X. They're data collection companies. That's what they do. They collect data. That's all they care about. Data is how they monetize. Data is where the money is. LinkedIn is directly pulling people. Local businesses count on digital ads. They're probably going to take the results of this to help determine their next marketing campaigns. Because when you think about it, all the people on LinkedIn, I'm connected to 6,800 or something like that people. LinkedIn's connected to everyone. They know everyone who's a local business, small business owner, etc. They can really target their own advertising incredibly well if they wanted to. Insider trading, Board of Directors Society. Who, in your opinion, is most vulnerable to professional performance anxiety? Not quite sure what that means, but I think it's funny. Don, he's going to be retired. Yeah, I think you're right. Weinstein doesn't have too much of a shot. I'm surprised he made it this far. He seemed ripe for. an accident to have happened. Calls and conference, share their experiences for attending our events. Once again, this is some nice marketing. They're just talking about their event. Apply today to be part of Collision this June. Don't miss out. We were able to validate our ideas and understand the potential market, create a proper MVP roadmap. It's not a bad quote. It could be stronger, but it's not bad. I've just been informed by a journalist that LinkedIn is a new dating site and asked if I'd like to do an interview about it. Maybe I'm completely out of the picture, but this is news to me. From my experience being approached on LinkedIn for dating purposes or even marriage through proposal and counting, it does nothing but creep me out. I post about its inappropriateness in the past. I've seen many others post the same. I know one or two people who met someone through LinkedIn, but it started as a professional relationship first. I don't know anyone actively using it to find a partner. Would love to know your thoughts. So this is an interesting one. LinkedIn at the end of the day is a social media platform. Therefore, if you want to ask someone out on etc., it's fair game is how I see it. Now, at the same time, as we talked about before, when it came to channel choice and voice, not the right channel, and it's not the right voice for that choice. 90%, and I'm making this number up, 99% of women on this platform have absolutely no interest in men trying to hit on them. None. Yet, from my understanding, from what I've read, from what I've heard from connections, I know many women who have been approached on this platform had someone either just, ask them out, tell them they're pretty, things like that, innocent things. There's also been a lot of really bad stuff I've heard of going on. Pictures sent, bad, nasty propositions, things like that. So is LinkedIn the new dating site? No, it's not. Can you use it for that purpose? Well, sure you can, but know very well you're going to brand yourself a creep. People aren't women are not on LinkedIn looking for a date as a general rule. So if you're on here looking, if a guy's on here looking for one, you're just going to come off as a creep. It's think of it like this. It's like walking into the it's like going into a gym where that gym, everyone knows this is a gym where it's just people who are serious about working out, getting stuff done, and getting back to work go there. And then you go there to hit on all the people. It's not the right gym for that. It's not that you can't do it. It's not that it's illegal. It's not that it's wrong, but it's not the right gym for it, right? Same thing with LinkedIn. It's not the right platform for this. Simple as that. So, is it okay to use it? Sure, it's okay. It's not the new dating site, and it's never going to be a good one. Done. I'm gonna get a T printed. I'm a data dump. I like it. I like it. It's a good idea. Canva, once again, nice advertisement here. Promote listed as a promoted post. When anytime you see a post like this on LinkedIn where it says promoted or on almost anything where it says ad, that means it's a paid position. It did not get here naturally. So even though these people follow Canva, it's just doing that to let you know. It's just an ad. That's all it is. Canva's great software for if you want to do some quick, easy, throw stuff together, creative. Tend to like it. They're also diving into the AI space as well. Okay, why is integrity? I see through all the games, people say they're here to help. And while some genuinely are, the truth is many are here to make money. Well, yes, of course. If you're on LinkedIn, it's a professional network for workers, right? Of course, they're here to make money. We all want to generate wealth. What I can't align with is insincerity. And yes, it is nice to be nice. Yet some say it's all about kindness. Kindness, I mean, you always want to be kind, but it's not an approach entirely. Again, insincerity isn't my value. Okay. So you're talking about insincerity again. I know the tricks from curated comments to trending posts, viral content strategies to strategic follows, algorithm hacks to trend driven posts, crafted copy to LinkedIn lives, replicate viral graphics to influencer collaborations. If you feel like you're doing all the right things but not getting traffic, don't give up. Your consistency and sincerity will win out. That's what I was talking about at the beginning of the stream. The fact that I like the live platform because of the authenticity. It's something you are losing, and it's getting harder and harder to find and harder to be sure of with AI. Rather than chasing likes, impressions, and dreams of being the next big thing, here's a thought. What if we remove the LinkedIn mask and truly connected as real people with real intentions? How much more meaningful would our interactions be? What what are we losing in the chase for likes, and what could we gain by seeking real connections instead? There is more dignity in showing up this way. I tend to agree with that. I'm going to throw that out like I am doing a live video. Who is this? This is Tima El Haji. Yeah, that's why I'm doing lives. Also, going back to what I was talking about earlier about making things more interesting. I have a couple of people lined up to do interviews on here, working on scheduling. Plan to do those live as well, which I think is exciting. It's not going to be completely off the cuff. There'll be a probably a quick introduction with a little background and a couple of guiding questions, but keeping it live, keeping it authentic, keeping it real. So exciting. Yes, I agree with you. Uh, Don down here in the chat right now, Don Bates. He's a connection I met through authenticity on LinkedIn by just reaching out, getting together for a cup of coffee, and we've been friends for a few years now. And here's what's crazy. Look at this. 43 comments. Blah 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 blah. You're always inspirational. Wonder when I'm gonna get those. I don't have my following yet. Where's my vanity metrics? Now the way I figured if I could put out some good content that helps anyone, why not? Helps me get my voice out there, seeing around. Maybe I'll find a job a little faster because it's starting to get a little scary. Never mind that though. Moving on. Anything else going on? International business law. Looking to break into the international market. Once again, advertising, very simple. And you can still see that style on LinkedIn. Everything's trying to go from a informational perspective. Do you want to learn AWS in a hands-on way through a cloud project based on a real-world scenario? Okay, last thing I'm going to touch on before I call it a day. AWS. AWS has, and this is just I think of this as a public service announcement. AWS has an incredible educational um, framework, structure, program, whatever you want to call it, available online that's free. You can go online to the AWS Learning and you can learn so many things um, from here it is, AWS Skills Builder. I'm going to jump over there real quickly. If you go over to the AWS Skills Builder, what's incredible about this, oh, I don't want to go through all this at the moment. Just because of pain. Let's see if it makes it easy for me or not. No, it does not. Okay, so I'm not going to bother logging in right now just because it's a pain and you got to do two-factor authentication. But in here, and you can see it in the background. Or let me close it. Here we go. Now we can see it. If you take a look here, these are all courses you can take. Skill Builder Learner Guide, Foundations of Prompt Engineering. This is a great training right here. It's a 4-hour training, but it'll teach you how to create prompts for AI, generative AIs. Building language models on AWS. It's a 5.5-hour training, completely free. Amazon Bedrock, getting started. How to program the Amazon Bedrock. It's an hour training, free. AWS for games, cloud development, solution architect knowledge, badge paths. If you're a subscription, you could get into some different ones. But even without a subscription, just free, there's tons of learning available from AWS. And yeah, Microsoft workloads on AWS, public sector generative AI learning plan, quantum learning plan, public sector AIML learning plan. All of these are free trainings. You can learn so much stuff from AWS completely free. If you take the prompt engineering, building on language models, getting started, and I don't see it here, but just like the AWS fundamentals, that'll be enough to where you can actually get in and start playing around with AI, and it's totally free to start. Take advantage of what AWS has out there. They've got some incredible stuff, and it's all free. And why is it free? Well, they give it all away free because the AWS model is it's pay for what you use. So when you get set up on AWS and to build through their AIs, things like that, you don't pay a subscription fee. You literally just pay for the compute and the storage that you use. Um, and so they let everyone get in there. They teach them, get in there for free and start playing with stuff. I've been able to dabble with AI, and if I get on it, I spend 2, 3 hours playing around with an AI that's in that. It might cost me $1 in my compute time, in my storage time. If you build something, you can obviously pay more. But it's why they give it away for free. Is you start building on there and you build out, let's say, an AI program that solves a problem. And you get people to sign up. It auto scales, and so as your process is your compute and storage increases naturally as it scales, so does what you pay AWS, and they've turned it into a multi-billion-dollar a year industry. AWS was originally founded as just the technical side of Amazon. They were the ones who basically they handled the website, everything else. And I forgot the guy's name, but he went back to Bezos way back when he said, "Hey, what we're doing here, I think is scalable, and we can sell it as a service." And so he's like, "Go for it." They started doing it. That's where AWS popped up to the public. It's about 30% of AWS's total revenue now, or sorry, of Amazon's total revenue just comes from AWS. And they put out so much free stuff and so much useful stuff. It's not funny. So go ahead and check them out. And on that, there's a pretty bird. And I think we will call that a day. Oh, one last one. Here we go. Get smarter. AI. Business strategy is being reshaped by generative AI. The key is to know when and how to use it. Learn how to leverage it effectively from MIT experts. The true experts in AI aren't the people at MIT. I mean, sure, they're there, but the true experts of AI are the ones working in the AI companies and the ones working in AI. The formal education is going to build over it. It's going to become one of the most popular majors in college very soon. But right now, today, you know, learn it from people like me, learn it online. And finally, oh, snakes. I was wondering what that was all about. Seals. Cute. And there we go. A little cute animal to finish things off. Look at the seal running down the stairs. Whoop de doo dah. Hey, nice dive. It's like oil rigs. Might be fun. Well, everybody, thank you for joining me today. Happy Friday. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. If you have any exciting plans for the weekend, go ahead and throw them in the comments. Please, if you're watching this, throw a comment, ask a question. Hell, give me some ideas on things to talk about. And as I said, we're going to have some interviews coming up, hopefully in the near future here. Um, I'm still having some fun with this. I said, so kind of just figuring it out, enjoying it. And yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you all Monday. Take care.